Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. So in the Crypto Minute, I covered companies like Fortune 500, Ripple, Coinbase, just a lot of stuff, and we'll dig in. But I want to start off with a small point that I noticed. Edward Snowden, in another country no less, running his mouth again, talking about how, the United States government could be fudging numbers or is fudging numbers, employment numbers. And I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, I literally just explained it's not that. What it is that companies themselves are fudging numbers, right? So you're laying off a whole bunch of people and now you've got jobs to replace those people. Different places, different things, maybe a little bit less than what you originally laid off or who you originally laid off. But that creates that kind of, and they're not doing it purposely. It's more like, hey, we need to thin the herd and we need to refocus our resources and get new resources for the strategic direction that we're going in. But that creates this space where you've got, not necessarily the strongest numbers, right? When everything gets back to normal, then you'll have normal numbers. But I don't think that's a big deal. I also don't think that it's a right thing to do to say, well, the US government is fudging numbers. It's a stretch. That's a stretch. And I think that's what Powell was talking about, was that it's not the US government that's fudging numbers. It's just that, the numbers could be overstated on either side because these companies that are doing the layoffs and doing the rehiring, they don't necessarily know how many jobs they're actually going to need and if the budget's going to remain. There are a lot of times that a job will be put out there saying, hey, we need a resource, and then that job gets pulled because of budgetary concerns. So let's, before we start pointing fingers and wagging fingers at people, let's take a step back and really understand what's going on. And like I said, I explained this just a couple of days ago. Now to today's news. We got the CPI numbers yesterday, and they were softer than what everybody thought, which made the markets a little bit happy. I think we're going to see markets get a little bit happier as we move forward. Everybody's just adjusting to the idea of, we thought there were going to be 3 decreases. I kept saying there's not going to be 3. You'll be lucky if there's 1. You'll be extremely lucky if there's 1. I'm still kind of on the side of 0, as in goose egg, right? I'm still kind of leaning in that direction, but I can see a percentage, where I'm kind of going, yeah, well, I can understand if there's 1, right? If you get 1 or 2 more months of data that keeps pointing to a softening economy, you can easily see it happening in September. It's not going to happen in July. It's not going to happen in August. So if that's what you're thinking, or if that's what your fund manager is thinking, that's what your trader is thinking, you probably need to go look at some other people. Because that's not in the equation. I just don't think so. And I would have to understand how they would get there. Because we've been having battling sets of numbers come out every month. This is the first month where everything seems to be pointing in the same direction. Other months they'd be kind of dueling for what direction they're actually pointing at. This one is, yeah, this kind of seems right. So I'm sitting back and I'm saying, yeah, I can see how if we got 1 or 2 more months of that data, I can see, a price decrease in September. Now, could you see another one? No, they're not promising another one. They're saying, well, we do a price decrease, then we want to wait a little bit and see what happens with that. You want to do a gradual thing, not just pop it up, pop it down. It will be small. It will be a decrease, but it'll be small. That's what I think will happen, right? If there is a decrease, again, we have to wait and see if, we get more numbers next month and the month thereafter that point in the same direction. If they don't point in the same direction, maybe you don't get a decrease until October. But the certain reality has got to step in. Then we have 56 of the Fortune 500 companies out there, wow, are taking on blockchain projects. I wonder why. Efficiency, cost, just the savings that it brings to the table. Those are going to be very, very big deals when they start calculating what should we be doing, how should we be spending our money. And you're catching a lot of CIOs and CTOs kind of trying to figure out where do we get these resources, because there's a report that Coinbase came out with that says, yeah, crypto talent in the United States is dwindling. That's not what's supposed to be happening. It should be growing. It should be growing. You have the opinion of Franklin Templeton, and I'm tying all these together for you so you can kind of see a bigger picture. Franklin Templeton is saying, listen, there are a lot of projects out there that are a part of the decentralized physical infrastructure network, right? They're in that space. And that space is going to disrupt. And I'll give it to you exactly how they said it. Computing, energy, telecommunications, and mapping. Look at those first three. Computing, energy, and telecommunications. So when you think about telecommunications, think Helium Mobile, right? When you think about energy, think about the cost savings that starts to happen as everything gets decentralized. And again, decentralized physical infrastructure network. So that means I can compute across multiple devices and not just a specific space of devices. I can have other devices pick up more easily for devices that fall down. So there are things that can happen. You're seeing complete disruption there. The energy use, energy efficiency is what I should say. So there are a lot of things that are going to come from that space. I have to say, every time I turn around, Jenny Johnson and her team over at Franklin Templeton are so forward thinking. So forward thinking. And here's what really gets me. They're not just forward thinking pie in the sky. They're forward thinking factual feet on the street, like real world, this is what could happen. This is what is happening. Their insights are really good. No, Jenny Johnson and Franklin Templeton are not paying me. I wish they were. I'd love for them to advertise on my show, right? But seriously, I'm looking at that company and I'm saying to myself, they've really got it going on. They've been calling it, and calling it cleanly. You know what I mean? Not, like I said, not pie in the sky, but coming at you with facts. Here's how this particular technology works. Here's why it's so disruptive. Here's how you can save money doing this. Here's this, that, and the other. And if you look at that 5-10 years out, you're looking at a complete change in how we compute. You're looking at a complete change in how we consume energy or leverage energy. It will be more efficient. That's what I'm liking. That's what I'm like. Back in the day, every house, every business was responsible for its own energy. Yeah. They had to do it right there. Then Tesla came along. So I'm just saying, there are things that, I pay attention to. And when you have a big company like Franklin Templeton looking so far forward and looking at a more realistic approach, yeah. And it's not just because I agree with what they're saying. Right? I've been saying this kind of stuff for a long time. It's not just that. It's the idea that you have a company that's saying, we're going to remove all the noise and we're going to look at the facts. And you have a few companies out there that are doing exactly that. So I'm listening. I am listening. And so far, I like what I'm hearing. Next up, Coinbase. Like I said, Coinbase has a report out there that's saying there are not enough Web3 or blockchain resources in the United States. We've been spending so much time in this country trying to, boot down crypto that they're not paying attention to what crypto brings to the table, what blockchain technology brings to the table, what the Web3 space brings to the table, what DeFi brings to the table. They haven't been paying attention. So what winds up happening? That talent either leaves this country or that talent finds other things to get involved in. That's a problem. That's a problem because you have a lot of companies that are saying most of my employees are outside the United States. Maybe my company needs to be outside the United States. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. That would not be good. Like at all. But we need to start growing that talent here. We need to start getting our kids and just having people in general more interested in what blockchain can do. and not just going after traditional jobs because those jobs supposedly are there. If you look at the banking industry, yeah, a lot of those jobs are gone. Banking industry has got to redefine itself and refocus itself. So that's what you're going through right now, right? And I'm sitting back and I'm all here for it. I'm definitely down with it. I'm definitely with it, but we need to grow those resources and we need to grow them here. And we're not going to grow them here if we keep kicking crypto, right? So I'm hoping that, people out there are starting to listen. I hear that, there are, politicians that are starting to say, I can see how this is working. They're starting to pay attention to the facts and not paying attention to special interests. And they're starting to say, yeah, I might be on the wrong side of this whole crypto thing. Let me move. You have politicians that are that want to make points about, I'm going to accept crypto donations. That will be my statement. I'm just saying that's a thing. That really is a thing. So I'm paying attention to that. I'm listening to everything that's coming out of it that's saying, okay, no more noise. Let's come with the facts. Something else that's going on, Paxos, which is behind a lot of coins, especially a lot of stable coins. They're going to have a 20% layoff plan put in place right now. 20% of their staff, bye-bye. And they say they're going to focus on two things. They want to get involved with real world asset tokenization. That seems to be the space. Excuse me. So that seems to be a space that a lot of companies are interested in. They also want to get into stablecoins because they think that's where everybody's focused. Tokenization and stablecoins. When it comes to tokenization, I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, there are a lot of companies out there, a lot of projects out there that are saying, oh, we want to be involved in real world tokenization. And that field seems to be growing a little bit, right? What I'm also noticing is that I don't see that in the world of settlements. It still seems to be a finite space. It hasn't grown yet. And I'm thinking maybe that's because there are only a few companies that can actually handle settlements at that level. I think tokenization is an easier way for these companies to get in on that basically perpetual, money-making machine. Because as long as business is happening, there'll always be a reason to get involved in tokenization, right? There's always going to be that space, and there's enough space. There's enough business there for like everybody. I'm not even kidding. So, if you're going to bring it to like something where you can really relate to it, my sons used to trade sneakers. Actually, they kind of still do. Imagine tokenizing sneakers. Shoes. Tokenized asset, Air Jordans. It sounds crazy. But yeah, it's kind of not. Proof of ownership, proof of authenticity. I'm just saying there are so many real world uses. So many real world uses that you could sit there and just go, holy moly, wow. Like your new certification is going to be, well, isn't it, who's owned that NFT? Let's look at who's owned it. So you have the original receipt, flip that, tokenize that, have the product hand in hand. Here you go. Now you got a lifetime of that product. Tokenization started happening with cars. I think it was Alfa Romeo that said we're gonna watch what happens with service for cars via NFTs or via blockchain. Just saying. So now you can actually see, somebody's trying to sell you a car. Well, I've serviced it every time it's supposed to be serviced. Well, you missed 10 out of the last 20. You know what I mean? Like you could see things like that. And I'm sitting back and I'm just going, there are so many use cases that it's not even funny. So many things that you'd be able to do when it comes to tokenization, which is why that field is growing. But the space of settlements is not. It's a finite space. Matic, right? Polygon, Chainlink, Stellar, right? There's a finite space. I thought it was going to be XRP, but it's not. Ripple seems to be saying we're going definitely in the stablecoin space. And I'm just making note of it all. I'm just making note of it all. I saw something else. I saw an article talking about how Mike Novogratz of Galaxy Digital, smart guy, is saying that meme coins are a cornerstone of, cryptocurrencies. And I'm sitting back and I'm saying, I can't stand meme coins, but the fact is yeah. That doesn't mean that they won't crash and burn. It just means that stable coins are a thing. They're a big enough thing that matters. That's what he's saying. Yep, he's right. No matter how I feel about stable coins, what I think they're going to do doesn't matter. What matters is they are a cornerstone. They're not the cornerstone, but they are a cornerstone. And I'm sitting back and I'm just kind of like, yeah, he's got a point. He absolutely has a point. And then I started looking at, I told you guys the other day, there are a lot of stable coins that are in the top 100. Because whenever I show you my list, when we do the numbers, which we will do in a moment, there are a lot of stable coins within that top 250 range. And you've got to stop and you've got to say to yourself, it's not easy to get into the top 250 coins out there. There are literally thousands. There are literally thousands. So you gotta, I guess you gotta pay a little bit of respect, right? But you know what we should do? We should get into the numbers. So let's do that. Boop, 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 boop. Why did I bounce back? There you go. I need that. Let's get rid of my notes. And let's refresh this screen real quick. It's been like 15 minutes. And in this world, 15 minutes can make a difference. There you go. Nice little refresh. And so let's look at the downside. On the downside, we are down all the way down to here. So Turbo's down 6%. No, I don't own any. Bonk is down 6%. Floki's down 8%. To me, those are two opportunities to buy. Brett is down 13%. That's another one that I'm kind of like reason to buy. That's about it. That's the only ones I'm looking at. Curve Dow is down 22%. Curve is messing up. I saw an article. I briefly read an article, and I was like, wow, that's because. And the article was saying that they could be liquidated. So the CEO, the CEO might have made a mistake. On the upside, we don't start going up until about a little bit higher. So Injective is up 6%. Toncoin is up 7%. Notcoin is up 9%. Yeah, so it's not bad. Stacks is up 5%, but it had taken a dive yesterday. It's at 233. It was at 245 yesterday. But that says that there's room to grow. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, that's not bad. I'm not mad about that. What else is there? And that's about it on that side. If we want to take a look at, we already did the U.S. economy thing. We should get the PPI numbers today, the producer price index. I thought the fear and greed index would be down in the 60s. It's at 70. That's not bad. Not mad about that. But the total TVL seems to be holding strong at 126 total value locked. Bitcoin still below my 69,355. We're trading at 67,858. If you zoom out, I'm not going to bother to zoom out right now, but if you look over a larger span of time, you can actually see, hey Stitchy, you can actually see that we're just still moving laterally. We're still moving like so right here. This looks like a big move. It's not. When you zoom out, that's not a big move at all. It's really not. You can see that, right? You can see that on a big board. You can see what you can buy like right now, which is not a bad thing. It's like, Toncoin is up a lot, and that's because of all the click-through games, the clicky games I told you about. That means not coin's going to start to pop up too. So yeah, I'd be interested in snatching up probably not coin, but I'd probably snatch up some ton because there are just more and more people migrating over to Telegram. There are just more and more people finding utility in Telegram. Stacks is up, Injective. You could see that. Render, I think, is an opportunity. Shib, I think, is an opportunity. Even Pepe, I think, is an opportunity. Yes, I'm still in the black on Pepe. Matic, XLM, DOT. I'm just seeing a lot of opportunity here. ETH, I might actually go out and buy some more Ethereum. I mean, that price is, that's a killer price. That's a killer price. I think that can happen. I think that's a thing. So I'm probably going to do that. I'm definitely going to snatch up some more Bitcoin because that's what I do. Just saying, these are things that I'm all looking at. And again, I also look at from all-time high and year to date. Those are numbers that I pay attention to a lot. From all-time high is going to tell me how much room do I have, right? If we just hit the all-time high, how much room do I have to get there? I'll be happy. Right? If there's enough room and I have confidence in that particular coin, that particular project, I'm in. And then that's going to tell me what kind of percentage do I have to get there. And I'm kind of like, yeah, that's not bad. Some of these numbers are big, right? Ethereum is off 29%. Bitcoin is only off 8%. Remember what I told you when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, I think there were only 8 other coins that also hit their all-time high. So there's room for growth, right? 16% down off its all-time high, which is BNB. I'm telling you, BNB is no joke. I keep telling you, BNB is no joke. Solana's down a lot, but when you think about it can hit, 200, because it was at 200 not too long ago. So it can hit 200. So what are you talking about? A 1/3 increase, a 33% increase? A 33% increase is what you're looking at. That's the opportunity there. That's honestly what I see. For XRP, can we hit $1 with XRP? Yep, because it did it not too long ago. Cardano is another one that I think it could probably do it, especially by the end of this year. Hutanik and I believe, Cardano could start making some big moves by the end of the year. When that Voltaire, not Voltron, smart Alec. Somebody said it before, so I was letting them know. But the Voltaire phase, I think Cardano is going to be big. I already told you that I already think Shiba Inu is big. And even at this number, 21, yeah, I'm still very much in the black on Shiba Inu. I've got that over here, and I'm thinking about, doing something else over there. So that's a big deal. Avalanche not doing too poorly. They're neck and neck for, 11th and 12th place. They're neck and neck. And they've been dropping. So it's not that Cardano has been doing well. It's that Ethereum, it's that Shiba Inu and Avalanche have been dropping. That's why you have that distance, that increased distance between them and Cardano. But once everything starts to pick up, when people start to realize, holy moly, the burn rate of Shiba Inu is big, they'll start to realize, holy moly, these numbers are going to have to be adjusted when you start thinking about what was burned and what's left. And that's going to be a huge deal. And I still think there's so much room for Toncoin. Like I said, I'm looking at the possibility of Toncoin hitting $12. I think that's a thing. I think that can happen. Going down, yes, I am still looking at Bitcoin Cash. I do have a bag of Near Protocol. I think that's going to be fine. I think Polygon, I've got some. I think Polygon is going to be fine. Polygon's been boring, but I think Polygon is going to be fine. Pepe, not too far away, is going to be a big deal. But when you want to know what's going to be a big deal, Singularity, Fetch, and Ocean have pushed off from being launched today as ASI. They pushed it off a month. But when they come out, they're going to come out and be immediately ahead of Polygon, of Near, and just under Bitcoin Cash. They're thinking about 7.5 billion. That's what I was talking about the other day. That could be big. But as AI is concerned, I think they might be undercutting. They might actually start, nipping at the heels of actually Chainlink, which is another one that I think, I'm going to go buy some more because Chainlink is no joke. So I'm looking at my DCA today. I'm looking at, what I'm buying into. I'm also looking at what I'm going to put some more dry powder in because we're still in that dip. We're still in the dip. So I'm thinking I might snatch some more up. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you have a good one. If you like what I'm doing, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. All right. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.